What up, y'all? Y'all know what it is, man. Your boy Trendsetter Sense. Of course, this is Chosen Journey. I have a special guest today, an influencer, one of the creators and founders, and we're gonna dive into her story, man. Jackie Horbrook, the founder of the Black Christian Influencers Conference.
Yes,
Thank you for
sir.
coming by. How you doing?
I'm doing good today, man. Excited. It's conference week. I gotta be amped.
Talk about it. I need the story. I need the testimony. We've had a couple conversations on the phone, and you were telling me during COVID you started doing some things, and I just want to hear the background and the evolution of the Black Christian Influence Conference. Talk to me.
Yeah, it's not much of an evolution story. Honestly, it's an accident story
Oh,
because
okay.
we really fell into this thing. I'm just an educator. My background is in education, worked as a director of diversity
Mm,
at a university, spent all this money on degrees I don't use anymore,
wow.
But it definitely was worth it because I think, when God pulled me into this space now to, do what I do full time with creating the community, it
Mm,
was just a surprise. I didn't expect to have so many people support it so quickly. I just heard a lot of people say, like, oh, things like this, it takes years and decades for it to grow and evolve. Like, we've only been at it 5 years.
wow.
And, we've grown a community of over 5,000 and followings on social, over 400,000 now. So it's just a lot of success in a short period of time.
Wow.
That was unexpected. Literally, it's organic. So it's not much of a business plan, although we do have business plans. But it literally was just a movement God just kind of blew on.
Wow, I love it, man. And of course, this week the
Yes.
official conference. And you talked about it being organic. What were some of the keys in connecting with different people, and how did you identify these people?
It went down in a DMs. I am so happy about that too, because I'm an introvert. I don't like
Mm,
talking in front of people, but I
mm,
will DM and type my little fingers off. So I started off literally people that I liked and enjoyed listening to on social media, just DMing them,
mm,
starting a conversation. A lot of people don't understand that when you start conversations and just talk, things naturally evolve, collaborations naturally develop. You
mm.
don't always have to go in for the ask.
Ah,
I
okay.
think that's what people mess up with is that they don't know how to network. Network involves just communicating, getting to know people. So for, the first 2 years of BCI, I didn't ask people for anything. I just wanted to get to know them, support them, and celebrate them. So,
Wow.
after doing that for 2 years, people just were ready to like support anything I had.
Wow.
So it's really beautiful.
Talk about okay, it started off just social media, right?
hmm
When did the conference begin to evolve?
It's been literally from the first year that we started, people were like, when is this going to be a conference?
Mm,
And I'm the type of person who I just don't jump into things. I
yeah.
need to make sure we got like the financial support, the backing that we need to make it excellent because everybody knows like I'm all about excellence. If it's not excellent, I'm not going to do it. I'm not
Right.
even going to touch it. So, we just were kind of tapping our toe in the water. We did some retreats, we did some meetups in different cities, just making sure we had like the pull because social media impact is one thing, but being able to translate that to in-person
Yeah.
support, whole bunch in a different ball game. So we tried it, we tested it, and then we launched it, and we did our first one last year and huge success. Literally all we did was social media promo and we were able to fill the space, 600 capacity. We
Mm.
filled it. And this year, we're doing a little bit more. I'm getting into some dope radio interviews and talking to some more people, and we've doubled in size in less than a year. So it's going. It's obviously a need for it. So it's just naturally evolving.
Now tell me, like, what are the events that take place within the conference?
Yeah.
Um, you have different different suites, different panels, like kind of dive into that for me.
Yeah, so we do a lot of collaborations.
Okay.
We're big on collaborations. So the first day, the dating project, we have a speed dating event happening.
Wow.
And it's hosted by D'Angelo and Whitney. I don't know if you remember Whitney with her wig fell off during the interview.
Okay.
So that's her. She has a whole business dating project. She got married, so she met her husband
Mm,
in the DMs, and so now she's helping other people to find relationships. So they're doing the first portion of the event, and then we got the awards.
Mm,
We have a few labels that are bringing some artists in to do some performances. Anatoria is going to be
mm.
there at the All-Star game that we're doing. And then we just, have a lot of cool things happening with influencers, different artists that are doing seminars and workshops. We're talking to AI, we're talking
Wow.
automation, business strategy,
Wow.
how to secure brand deals.
Wow.
Like, we're just trying to hook everybody up.
Man, I love it, man. I love platforms like this, man, especially, and it's a community of believers.
Mhm.
And it's like, how do you navigate? Like you mentioned the dating thing, and that question comes across a lot, that, people who are Christians and believers, they, you know, find it difficult on how they can date somebody in the process and things
Mhm.
like that. And, can you kind of just dive in on like some of the like experiences that would take place where somebody can just get a little bit of an education behind it?
Yeah, you remember back in the day, a lot of people met at the church. They met, and after service, somebody bought them some nachos, or they walked to the candy store or something. That type of stuff don't happen as much because we're so like quick. We're in and out. We go to church, we go leave, we come, and then we don't have time to actually meet and connect. And so that's a problem because, people can't meet their spouses if they're not actually involved in networking. So
Mm,
I think that part of like the community that the church had has kind of changed. And so it's created a need for people to meet Christians differently, right? So where else are you going to go where you're in a room full of Christians? There are a lot of women's conferences, right? So that's the
right.
one thing I'm like, man, we women, we want to be in relationship, but we're not in spaces with people who we can get in relationships with. So
Wow.
for me, it was important to not just have another conference, but to have a space where it's networking. That's what we're doing.
Mm,
Every space you're in, you're going to be talking to people. We got, sessions where you're going to actually be interacting with each other,
yeah.
creating content on the spot so that you can hopefully spark some friendships, business partnerships,
Right.
and maybe even relationships. So we're
Wow.
trying to help people out.
Wow, it's full circle, man. It's,
Yeah.
it's everything. You touching on everything, and touching on the business part.
Hmm.
Now for people that want to understand how they can just have a stronger mindset from a business standpoint, how can they navigate the balance of their faith and business and not feel like they're crossing lines, or are there opportunities that somebody can make a living and serve? Like, can you kind of give some advice to somebody that needs to hear that?
Yeah, it's honestly about honesty. And a lot of people either they exaggerate what they can do or they downplay what they do,
Wow.
right? They just are so like, I need. They're asking all the time. Those are the extremes that I've seen in the Christian community.
Mm,
When it really needs to be a balance, right? The balance is you actually being honest, but also being excellent.
mm,
If you can do both, you'll be successful.
wow.
Don't overhype up what you can deliver, but also make sure you deliver better than what people expect. That's the key. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, and don't go beyond your means. I've seen so many people who have talked about they've done conferences and they've gone into debt. They've had to mortgage their house. And, literally one person told me it's like, oh, they were in debt over $100,000. I'm like, how? Because me, if I ain't got it, we not spending it.
Right.
I've told people like, I'm sorry, no, we can't. Big artists that were supposed to come and, wanted to just be there in the space, but they needed us to pay for them. I'm like, we just can't do it right now. And
Mm,
I'm not afraid to say that because I know that I want to be around for a while.
mm-hmm,
And there are a lot of people who are in business and they don't understand that it's about the long run. It's not
mm,
about the short wins.
mm-hmm.
If you aren't thinking long run, then you aren't going to survive.
Wow. Jackie Horbrook is here, the founder of the Black Christian Influencers Conference. I was looking at one of your posts, and you were talking about failing to succeed.
Mm,
For the people that keep feeling like they're bumping their head on the wall.
yeah.
Can you kind of talk about those experiences and how they improved through those experiences?
You gotta learn, like when you were a little kid, you run in and touch a stove, it's hot, you don't touch it anymore. some of us, we're not learning. That's the problem. We touch it, we see that it's not working, but we keep going back.
Right.
We love the pain apparently because we don't learn from our mistakes. But when you learn from your failures, you actually use it to help you grow, you know? So for me, I've learned from the first conference to this conference so many things, you know, the power of collaboration, the power of telling the truth, telling as many people as possible about your needs because you never know who you're in a room with. All of that is valuable. And so those are things that I learned from the first time to the second time. So I encourage people, like, don't just do things, but learn from them. And always take notes throughout your process of doing things. Take notes. Okay, this is what I did this time. This didn't work out the best. Because as you get past it, you're going to forget the things that didn't work. And then you may do it again.
Right.
But for me, the whole time, if I make a mistake, note to self, never again.
Right.
Do fill in the blank.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I literally have a notebook full of don't do's. So
Wow.
I encourage other people, create a don't do notebook.
Don't do notebook. I love it. Can you talk about the future of where Christian influencers will be going, Black Christian Influencer Conference will be going? Can you just talk about the evolution and the process of where things are going?
Yeah, you know, we're trying to be that solution to the BET Awards. I felt like a lot of people were kind of feeling some
They were a
type
little
of
hurt
way.
about with the gospel award.
They felt a little butthurt, you know. They was kind of
Well,
upset.
I actually, because it's funny that you brought that up. I'm a BET voter.
Oh, you are?
I am.
See, this
Yeah.
is one of the people.
So
yeah.
and I saw the posts where people were hurt about that. And I'm so
Absolutely.
glad that you brought this up,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I had the opportunity, because this platform is on a mainstream urban
Yeah.
channel, and based upon the relationships that I earned, I was invited as a voter
Awesome.
overall. And I vote for every category. It's
Mhm.
not just the gospel. I had to vote for. I voted for Leon Thomas for best new artist. He
Okay.
was hot.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I was
Okay.
like, oh, my vote, it counted.
It
You
worked.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah, the system works.
Yeah. So, but I had to vote. You don't have to. I voted for it because I'm a big Eagles fan.
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts won Male Athlete of the Year. That was easy for me because I'm
Okay.
from Philly. So that
Yeah.
was easy. You get what I'm saying?
I need
So-
to know, did you vote Glorilla?
No, I didn't vote. No,
Okay.
no. I
I'm just
voted.
I ain't know. I want to know.
No, I didn't vote because I understand the space.
Mhm,
But this is the reason why I'm saying this is because participation is very important.
Absolutely.
So when you have the opportunities to participate, this, hip hop as a whole in general went through this 30, 40 years ago. You get what I'm saying? Where they weren't being included in certain categories, but you had to have participation from the pillars and the leaders that represented the
That's it.
genre, the culture, however you want to put it. So I look at it the same way in the gospel space, the Christian hip hop space. Instead, you want to participate and you want to utilize the leadership to empower and educate, to make a difference on evolving. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the genre in the Christian hip hop, the gospel rap, however you may want to call the genre, is evolving. Point in case, this show is here on a mainstream platform. I have other platforms that are on a mainstream level. That's on all eyes. It's not a subcategory. It's not a
Yeah.
subgenre. I'm playing my role to participate. I'm asking the creatives and
Mhm.
everybody involved to play a role. Don't just, I said it. I said that the reason why is because the majority of the voters are not familiar with this category.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the reason. So it's not a
They
finger
vote what
point.
they know.
Exactly.
Correct. Yeah.
It's not a finger pointing thing. Let's work together. And that's why kudos to you, because you have a platform that creates everybody to work together. It's a
Correct.
movement. One tribe did not cross the Red Sea by themselves. All
Correct.
12 tribes crossed the Red Sea. We cannot individualize ourselves, especially when you move in faith. It is totally different. You cannot feel like one person is going to cross. I just wanted to share that. I'm so
You
glad.
right.
Yeah.
You're so right, and I feel like that's a part of what we need to fix. We're pointing fingers, we're upset, but
Yeah.
are we working?
Yes. Are we collabing? Are we participating?
Absolutely.
And because at the end of the day, the opportunity for the light to shine on what is being done is here. The time is now.
It's it. Yeah.
You know?
Right now. And we got people that are ready to work. But, it's just a matter of who's going to actually collaborate, who's going to start, trusting. I feel like it's a lot of trust issues in this space of the Christian world. We need therapy because
Wow.
we are so untrusting, and we're very our guard is up. Obviously, we've been hurt. I can sense that, right? Yeah. The church has been hurt, but that honestly does not mean we stop trying. And a lot of us have stopped trying. And so I'm grateful now because influencers, we're a new space. We're a lot of people who haven't been tainted by that industry, and I think it's good because we are ready to do things that others aren't. And we're working, and you're seeing movement because of that, right? So I think if we really just started to come into it like little children, you know what I mean? Like that's how God wants us to come into the kingdom as children for a reason, because they don't know what's not to do and what to do. They just run in and try it. We're not running. We're not trying. We're literally walking and complaining. That's where I feel like we're at right now. But I'm hoping that's going to change.
Absolutely. And wow, I'm so glad that we had this conversation. And it's like I said, you're right. Please be active, be involved, participate, play your role. Things will change. And we got God with us.
Absolutely.
You understand that?
Yep.
You already know.
I'm here for it, man. That's what I'm about.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jackie. Let everybody know everything, all the socials, the websites, the conference is going down. Jackie Horbrook, she's in the building. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Honestly, go to BCI conference.org if you want to attend the conference. BlackChristianInfluencers.com is all things what we're doing in the future. If you want to connect with our agency, our community, so many things that we do regularly, conferences, retreats, all that stuff is on the website. So, or you can just find us on social, Black Christian Influencers. We're pretty literal with everything.
I love it. Jackie Horbrook, thank you so much. This was an amazing conversation. You see what it is, man. Chosen Journey. Jackie Horbrook, Black Christian Influencers Conference. On and popping, man. Trendsetter Sense, Chosen Journey.